Good afternoon. Today is the 2nd of January and it is exactly 30 months, not to the day, but it was July 2017 that I picked up this 2017 Seat Toledo 1.0 TSI Xcellence, and it's time for a 30-month report on this car. I do apologise in advance for the wind noise, and the light levels today aren't brilliant, but at least the car is clean, unlike some of the last ownership reports I've done on this. The 18-month ownership report I did on this car, which would have been about a year ago, was one of the early successes on my YouTube channel for some reason. Everybody who owns a Mark IV Toledo, this is a Mark IV Toledo, absolutely loves them. Now, production of these finished the late summer of 2018, but they were still available for sale up until the middle of last year. So you see a number of these on 19 plates as well. The Seat Toledo is based on the Skoda Rapid, or rather the last generation Rapid. There was a couple of Rapids before that, and if I do what I always do with this car, I've had so many videos on this car. The first video on my channel ever was a full review of this car. I'll show you that is a Skoda part. It's an ice scraper, and that fits straight into the fuel flap of a Toledo. That's how similar the cars are. This being the Xcellence, it's got these nice alloy wheels. I think they are 17 inches, yes, for 17 inches. The car's not got much in the way of damage to it. The only sort of things I've done to it are a nasty scratch on that one. I think I've got a smaller one on the other side, but apart from that, the car's pretty much perfect. Just as well, really, because we don't intend to keep this car forever. At the end of the PCP agreement, this car might well be going back to the Seat dealer I got it from, which was WJ King in Sidcup. And Paul Bennett was the gentleman I dealt with, and Paul's been excellent at every time that I've had any queries about the car. Now, this is a post facelift Toledo. They only made them for about a year. The way you can tell is this car's got full LED headlamps. You can see it's quite evident those are LED headlamps. And there's one or two other sort of minor changes, but overall these stayed virtually the same from about 2013. They were introduced to this country till, as I said, the sort of late summer of 2018 when they discontinued them, although I've seen a few on 19 plates. One of the best things about a Toledo is a boot. 550 litres. Apologies, it's not very clean in here. It's got all sorts of bits and pieces, but if I lift up the boot carpet, which is through this little handle here, that will just have to go back in there, I think. It's warning triangle, let's put it there. So lift this up. Luggage net that I've never used, and a full-size spare. One of the few cars I know that actually came with one. I think this was an optional extra. Maybe the luggage net was as well. I've never used either of them, to be honest. But it's nice to know it's there. Storage pockets in the side. I'll take that to the other side actually, because it fits better in that side. There we go. And a 12-volt socket. These compartments do come out, but I don't know how you do that. Very, very strong hooks in there. You can take the parcel shelf out, but I'm not going to do that today. There are a couple of metal tie-down points as well. Because I've got so much random stuff in here, I won't do that. But yes, why buy an estate car when you can have a Toledo if they have about the same capacity? It's only a little bit smaller than something like a Lane ST, actually. Bigger than the Tekka too. Lovely. Rear space. Absolutely excellent. I've climbed in the back of this car so many times, I'm not going to do it now. But you can see plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. Nice ski hatch here. This being an Xcellence means you get this leather trim, although it might be leatherette, I'm not sure. Just operate the ski hatch. It's a bit of faff doing this, there we go. Put that back. Double cup holders in there. Because this is a facelift car, it's actually got 2 USB ports as well. And very comfortable seats, Alcantara, and I think this is actual leather. Might not be though. And you can put the belt buckle in there if you fold the seats, which is what you do just by folding that, but I won't do that today. Keyless entry. I don't like the keyless entry on this car one little bit. It's an absolute pain. I've actually had the main remote for the car go flat on me twice. I've currently got one in my pocket somewhere. I've got a battery for it. If I find a battery, I'll bring it out a little bit later. But I've had to buy another battery for them, but not expensive. The part number is CR2025, same as a lot of the Volkswagen Group key fobs. But this car never had keyless entry when it came out in 2013, and the post-facelift Xcellence models like this, which have it, you know, you don't need it. It's a pain. It hardly works most of the time. Because unless you lock the car with the keyless entry, the car won't unlock with the keyless entry. You have to use the normal remote. And when the battery goes flat on the remote, you have to take off this little panel here. You have to go to them underneath and get in that hole. And that's not very elegant, I must say. So that's something I don't like about the car. Another thing I'm not so keen on is these hard plastics. Don't like these at all. I mean, you know, the price I paid for the car, which is about £12,500, they were doing a deal where you got a car with metallic paint and a spare wheel for £12,500 and not £20,500 when you took finance, which I did. And this plastic is hard as well. That's not good. Oh, it's leather on the door though, and it does feel, it's very well built. There's no squeaks or rattles or anything like that in this car. It's just, I would, you know, some of the materials could be, you know, a little bit more luxurious. Nice leather steering wheel, just like all the current Seats. And there's an Xcellence mark there, another Xcellence down there, and there's the keyless entry start button. So just get in now. Nice and comfortable seats. I've just done, literally today, about 230 miles in this car, and no problem at all. If I turn it on, won't start the engine, no. Yes, I know my fuel is low, but that's because, as you can see from the trip meter, I've done 558 miles without filling this car up. It's got about 45 miles left, so the range of the car is actually about 600 miles, which is very good. Another thing I don't like about this car, the sat-nav, to be honest, isn't great. It's not as accurate as using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The problem is, though, if you want to do that and you want to connect to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay via the full link feature, then you can't do it. It was an option on this particular car, and this is not enabled by default. Another thing that's a little bit annoying on this car is when you open the glove box and you take all this random stuff out of here. It's a nice big glove box. There's my navigation disc here, which just goes in that SD card slot there, but there's the CD player. How completely useless is that? Why on earth do you need a CD player right back there? It is cooled as well by the air conditioning, although I've never really used that feature. It's just a very bad design. Oh. Right, just put that back, there we go. So that stuff back in there. Conventional handbrake in a Toledo, and this is sort of 6-speed manual gearbox. Climate control, which is excellent. It's not dual zone. No Toledo has dual zone climate control. And there's my average fuel consumption over long term, 54.5 miles per gallon. With the last journey, they go 58 miles per gallon, doing I think it's a 230 mile journey. I'll just scroll through here. It should actually tell me how far I've been today. Yeah, 228 miles, and I did 58 miles per gallon. Very good. 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. Develops in this car 110 horsepower. Similar to the Skoda Scala, Volkswagen Up GTI, the Audi A1. This engine's in loads of different cars. Very, very good fuel economy and, you know, low running costs in general. This car is only about £180 to service a year. I don't go to the main dealer of the cars. I don't need to actually on my particular PCP deal. Although obviously you have to make sure to, in order to get warranty intact, that you go to a registered garage for VAT. Electrochromatic dipping view mirror. You can see there's no little button on there, so this is an automatic one. And if I turn the lights on in the car, see the word Toledo comes up like that, which I think is very nice. The plastics haven't seemed to have got any sort of damage apart from this little bit here, which I'll have to tidy up before we put the car back. But yes, let's have a look at the engine. So here is the 3-cylinder 110 horsepower TSI engine. A little bit dirty because I've been doing a lot of mileage in this car recently. Total mileage is just over 26,000 miles. I'm actually lower on the mileage than I thought I'd be. I thought I'd be about 35,000 miles by now, but actually I've been quite careful. No problems at all with the engine. In fact, I've had no problems at all with this car, apart from the battery and the key fob going flat, and also the USB ports in the rear. They fell through the armrest within about a year of me having the car, and I got that fixed under warranty. Apart from that, all I've done is put fuel in the car, service it, and that's it. Nothing else has gone wrong. Very, very, very reliable car. I'm even on the original front tyres and discs and everything. So there we go, 30 months with a Seat Toledo 1.0 TSI Xcellence. Virtually flawless reliability, extremely cheap to service, extremely good fuel economy, very spacious. I think it looks rather handsome in this colour. If you don't have an Xcellence, then the lower trims can look a bit sort of dumpy. I would recommend you go for the Style Advanced or the Xcellence, which Style Advanced was the predecessor to the Xcellence, because it makes the car look a lot better with little chrome strips down the side of the doors, and of course with these nice alloy wheels. This is a colour called rhodium grey. When I ordered the car, they were only available from stock, and I could have grey or black. And then I chose grey because our MG is black. What this car worth now? I don't really know. It's hard to say because there's not a huge number of them for sale, particularly the post-facelift ones. I reckon this car's probably worth somewhere around £9,000 to £10,000. There you go, very rough figure. Obviously I've looked after it. Doesn't have a full maintenance service history because I don't agree with charging, you know, huge amounts of money for very simple work when you can just get it done by a local trusted garage, and they will do much the same quality of service for you using genuine VW parts. So thank you ever so much indeed for watching. We will be replacing this Toledo probably in about July or August this year. I don't know what we're going to be replacing it with yet, I'm not entirely sure. But obviously subscribe to the channel for more updates. There's a full review of this car and other ownership reports on the channel already. I will put a link to them in the description below. If you wish to source a car for it, it doesn't have to be a Seat, it can be all sorts of things, then please get in touch via the link on the homepage of our website, which is www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk, and there's a contact tab for you to get in touch with me there. I've also got a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Thank you ever so much indeed for watching.